Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today I will be reviewing all three Dr. Squatch colognes. I was going to make them separate videos and then either upload them separately or just link them together. But I'm just going to review all three together. So without any further ado, let's get into it. First up, I guess I'll review the Fireside Bourbon. It's the first one I used. And the second one I used, Woodland Pine. And the third one I used, the Glacier Falls. So, Fireside Bourbon's up first. Let's get into it. Alright, so first up is the presentation. This goes for all the bottles. I love the bottles. They have a nice, I don't know if you can tell, a nice slight curvature in the bottle. As you can see, that is clearly not flat. See, kind of slopes down there. Very slight. You can only really tell if you look like up here, kind of. And you can see it kind of is like a curve. I am in love with the caps. It's like leather right there. Like leather in the middle here. And then some sort of plastic on top. But I like the leather here in the middle. I am upset about the atomizers. As you can see, they're very small. So they don't pump out a ton of juice. But besides that, the design's very nice. It just says Dr. Squatch in the middle there. Which is embroidered. And then Natural Cologne Fireside Bourbon for Men. On like a little patch. Which I think is very nice. Now the scent itself is really nice, okay? All these are really nice. It's just the thing with the Dr. Squatch colognes, they're kind of basic. And this one kind of reminds me of when you like walk into Macy's in the cologne section. You're like, what's that smell? Boom, that's the smell. That's what this smells like in my opinion. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that's what it smells like to me. Now, I'm also getting some like Spice Bomb possibly, or like 1 Million. So, Paco Rabanne, Victor and Hall, for sure. I'm smelling their brands. I don't know which Spice Bomb, and I don't know which 1 Million, or which Paco Rabanne, even in Pacific. But that's just what I'm smelling, okay? Eerily similar. It's a nice scent, okay? Bourbon, not so much. Fireside, yes. It's very dark and rich, very woodsy, very masculine, very nice. The lasting power is pretty good on this one. I don't remember exactly how long I got out of this, but it must have probably been at least 5 to 7 hours, if not. Probably definitely upwards of 6, maybe even up to 8 max, but 6, 7 hours, not bad. And it is overall a lovely scent. I mean, I really don't have much to complain about here. I just don't think it's like it's a bit basic. It's a bit overwhelming. But it does smell quite nice. So that is the review of this one. I'm going to run through these pretty fast, by the way. Okay, next up is the Woodland Pine. Same thing goes, but it's in green Woodland Pine instead of this like brownish Fireside Bourbon. Now, this is amazing. My one knock is the more you use it, the more it does smell like pine. But at first, this is a Dior Sauvage copy. There's no way around it. There's no way else for me to say it. This is an exact replica of Dior Sauvage. I don't know which, not the elixir, but like the original EDT, maybe the EDP, maybe even the parfum. It just gives that Dior Sauvage smell. How do I know this? Not only did I believe this, but I tested it out. When I wore this at school, one of my friends said, "Are you wearing Dior Sauvage?" I said, "No." She's like, "Smells like it." I'm like, "Oh, this Woodland Pine Dr. Squatch." So, she thought it was Dior Sauvage. So, I mean, that's how you know it's... if I think it's Dior Sauvage, she thinks it's Dior Sauvage. And she's into perfume cologne, but not, like, significantly enough to know everything. But since Dior Sauvage is pretty basic, she knew that this smelled like Dior Sauvage, it's definitely given off Dior Sauvage, okay? Now, aside from that, it's this lovely smell. I mean, I don't have to explain much. It just smells like Dior Sauvage, like kind of slightly minty and fresh, but has like undertones of darkage, of like musk and woods, kind of dark. There's not much more to say. It's a nice Dior Sauvage smelling cologne, but it's not bad. And the lasting power is around the same, if not less, a little bit less than the Fireside Bourbon. Now, this one's the weakest, but probably the best, and that is the Glacier Falls, the blue right there. Now, the reason I say it's the best, well, it's really not the best, but it's like the least basic smelling, It smells basic. They all do. But, like, this is, like, the Woodland Pine is Dior Sauvage. Fireside Bourbon is, like, Macy's, Victor and Rolf, Paco Rabanne, Vermilion, Spice Bomb, whatever. But the Glacial Falls, it smells basic and fresh and, like, watery, aquatic. But I can't, and very clean, but I can't pinpoint an exact cologne I could say that it smells like. So I'll give it that. It's quite nice, though. Very fresh, very clean. But it doesn't last long at all. It's like 4 or 5 hours, 6 maximum. So it's really worse than the other two. The other two are the best. This one definitely being the strongest. But this one's quite strong as well because it is like Dior Sauvage. So, because the Ambrox in here probably just really smells and lasts long. The Glacial Falls, though, has a nice sillage to it. So you'll be known in a room for sure. It's a light sillage. Projection, longevity, they aren't great. But it's a fine scent. Just isn't nothing crazy. That's the reviews, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, like, turn on post notifications. And that is the Fireside Bourbon review, the Woodland Pine review, and the Glacial Falls review. Thank you for watching, y'all.